everyone, and welcome back to another Fallout 2 video. And today, I am still in Reading. Now, I do have some things to consider with Reading. Well, if you watched the last video, then you pretty much know what I'm going to mention here is that there's the mine that I would have to dump $1,000 into. Mind you, no pun intended there, but remember that. Well, keep that in mind, and I try to as well, which makes me a lot more hesitant, because it's the fact that he said 1,000. As well as some critters, and did not elaborate. So like I said last video, like, I don't know if it's just a bunch of rats, or if there are death claws that just took shelter in the cave, like I've seen before in this game, or if it's something completely different that I'm not thinking of. That is just about as dangerous, but regardless, yeah. Okay, I'm in combat. I thought that would take it out automatically. It didn't die, though. Kinda makes me concerned, though. Well, it does make me really concerned. It does. It really does make me concerned. There we go. Nope, I want to reload. There we go. And my turn, because I can't hit the right button. I would have loved to have ended combat there with a rousing success in said combat, but I'm not through all the enemies yet. Right, that is a pig rat. Yeah, I couldn't quite remember what that was. I knew it was some sort of rat. Well, I remembered it being some sort of rat. I just didn't. I mean, it's been a long time since I've encountered those, and like, I don't even remember, like, I don't remember if I've faced them in the past year or not. I think it's been a couple of years, actually. Yeah, because I'm trying to think about. The thing is when I try to remember, like, when something happened in a series, the thing I do, the little trick I use, and I think it goes without saying that you guys are more than welcome to use any of the tricks that I use in my life. But regardless, ooh, that was nice. I don't know if seeing that in that fashion go down like that was the bloody mess perk at work, but that, I mean, I'm not a very violent person, but that was oddly satisfying to see. That was oddly satisfying to see. But anyway, so when I try to remember something that happened in a series, I try to think. I'm like, okay, well, what happened, or what was going on in my life? Like, what was I doing? Because there's just... I was thinking about it earlier this week, but over the almost 11 years that I've spent on this channel, there's so much stuff that's happened, like, in my personal life. Like, just thinking about, you know, going through various life events, because there's a lot of them, and just... But I have worked 3 different jobs since I've started this channel. Where did that enemy come from? Like, where... Okay, they're right there. Freaking blended in. Couldn't exactly see them. But anyway... Yeah, so it's like, say for example, like... What job was I working at the time? Like, is it the one that I have now, or is it, you know, one of the previous 2? And, you know, like, was I in school? It's like, oh, well, what stage of school was I in when, this happened? You know, just certain things like that. Like, where was I living? Because I've lived a few different places, primarily 2, within the past almost 11 years, but 3. So, I mean, there's just enough there to where it kind of helps me, and so I'm just trying to think about, like... Yeah, I think it's been at least 1.5 years since I've seen pig rats. Because since one of the bigger things happened, I haven't really seen pig rats. But I remember seeing them while I was in that thing, before I left. But... Yeah. So it's kind of like that, where I just use that technique where it's like, you know, and that's it in motion. Well, in effect. Or I'm practicing it. Because often these series go on for so long that... and... thing is, too, is that, you know, I just have... I play so many games on this channel as well. Like, I'm playing this game, and this is just series games, by the way. This is not including the games that I can play on forever, like CS2 and Gary's Mod and Team Fortress 2 and the like. But it's like I'm playing this game. I'm playing Dying Light 2. I have my Mutant Football League Dynasty that I'm doing right now. I have Halo Reach going on right now. And I have oh shoot. Well, I have Final Fantasy 3 going on as well. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. I have The Escapists right now. I have just a lot. Ooh, Bloody Mess coming out again. I think. Nice. Nice. Is there anything to loot? I don't think so. And so... And plus, over the past... Ooh! Another bloody mess! Alright! More bloody mess! And so, over the past year and a half, I mean, I have completed quite a bit of games that I might have started and completed during that time, as well as completed. Because I've completed, well, more recently it's been Borderlands 3. I completed that back in October. Oh, my aim is blocked. Well, that's just great. But, yeah, I mean, well, I completed Max Payne 3 back in 2021, but so I completed Borderlands 3. Over the past year and a half. I've completed Dying Light. Man, it's kind of hard for me to remember. I don't think I've completed all the stuff, honestly. I mean, I'd have to look, but the amount of games that I've completed has slowed down a little bit because there was a few years ago where I just, especially in 2019, where I just completed a whole load of stuff. And this is going on a bit of a tangent at this point, but you know, 2019 I completed a whole bunch of stuff, and 2020 to a certain extent as well, and last year and this year kind of been down years, if you will, in terms of completing stuff. And I credit that to the fact that I'm playing longer stuff than I did back then. Plus, you know, I guarantee you that I would have been able to complete a game had I not picked up Mutant Football League. Because typically, I complete games within 2 years or so. 2 or 3 years. And that... I've been playing that game for this channel for nearly 2 years. Which I have given a bit of a thought in terms of, do I want to replay games? Like, man, this calendar year for me personally, I've been replaying a ton of games that I have played in the past, just to kind of build up hours and just to complete, because before this year, I've only completed 58 total games on Steam, and I'd only completed those a total of about 60 to 65 times. And I went, nope, that's not enough. And so I went, okay, I'm gonna spend this year replaying a whole bunch of games. Also because I just kept playing the beginning part of a whole bunch of games, you know, starting a whole bunch of games. Because I'm sure every gamer has done that before, but it was kind of like, well, I just can't really play new games because I had the desire to play a whole bunch of old games. So I'm like, well, let me just play a whole bunch of games and replay a bunch of those this year, so that next year in 24 I can really play a whole bunch of games that I haven't played before. And also I'm trying to get to a point where I in terms of series like Fallout or whatnot, I'm trying to get to a point where I have played through those games that I start playing for YouTube at least once. Now, it's not a bad thing, in my opinion, if I play through stuff like Dying Light. I'd never played that, and then I played it, and as well as a whole bunch of stuff in the past. But starting here soon, I mean, it started to happen last year and a little bit in 21, where I've actually played the game that I'm playing now before. Like Halo Reach, I played that before. Borderlands 3, I played that before. You know, for example, so and so I'm trying to get to that point as well. Not a big deal, but I'd love to get to that point. And you know, one series I would really love to play at some point, and I will if I'm here long enough and I have the desire to, but the Batman Arkham games. I have only played Asylum. Well, I played a tiny bit of Origins, but I played Asylum, and I'm actually on my 4th playthrough of Asylum. It is that good that I completed it. I basically played through the game in almost one go off camera last November, and I'm already on my 4th playthrough in like 13 months. So I think that's crazy to me, but it works. It works. I mean, I like it that much, and it's short enough to where I can easily do it. Oh, and Yakuza is a game franchise where I want to play some too. I mean, I've only completed Yakuza 0 and I played a bit of Kiwami, but I plan to complete a couple of those as well as the Batman Arkham games next year. And I played most of the Doom games, but I plan to beat Doom 3 and 64 next year as well. I have a long list of stuff that I plan to complete. And I don't think YouTube would like it if I played Wolfenstein for the channel, but I'm definitely going to play it for myself. Hello there. My name's Dangerous Dan McGrew. I run the Morningstar Mine here. What can I do for you? What do you mine here? We mind our business. No, I'm kidding. That was about the worst joke. Now oh God. Why? Why did I do that? Why? Why? Okay, now that I've recovered from that traumatic experience that I brought upon myself, and I apologize for that, by the way, because I love cheesy jokes and dad jokes and all the like, but There's a line, and I feel like I crossed it, but regardless, we mine gold. Everybody wants it, too. Send it all the way to Vault City, send it all the way to Vault City, New Reno, and even down to the NCR. You might say that Reading has something for everybody. That's what keeps us independent. I'd think that someone would like to control Reading. What makes you think they haven't? Everybody would like to have Reading under their belt. My guess is that someone will get us pretty soon. About the only thing we can do is choose our master if we want to survive. What do you mean? I mean that we're going to be put under somebody's thumb. Or I mean that we're going to be put under someone's thumb. Only a fool thinks otherwise. Our choice is to pick the lightest thumb. Which you've done, of course. You bet I have. If we didn't ally ourselves with one of the families in New Reno, or if we don't ally ourselves with one of the families in New Reno, you can just kiss Reading goodbye. At least any type of Reading that I'd want to live in. What do you mean? If the NCR takes over, Reading is going to be put under the thumb. Hard. They aren't real big on personal freedom. They're going to turn Reading into another splotch on the new California Republic map. The Reading I know will be gone forever. What about Vault City then? Vault City? Ha 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 ha. That was a forced laugh, but yeah. Vault City. Ha 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 ha. Those bigots would turn Reading into a slave labor camp. You mean the Legion? No. They don't see anyone who's not one of their precious citizens as being worth a warm bucket of spit. Spend my life bowing and scrapping to those bigots isn't my idea of any kind of life. How's New Reno any different? New Reno is strong enough to protect Reading from the other two. Since New Reno is divided up amongst different gang families, it's divided enough to give us our best chance for autonomy. In New Reno, they don't care how we run things, as long as we get their gold. That doesn't sound so great either. This ain't a perfect world, chum. Sometimes you've got to make the best of a bad situation. Just turns out that bad people may be the best bet for Reading. Not everyone sees it that way, though. So, what do you think is going to happen? Don't know for sure, but things are heating up. Whatever city has the strongest backers here in New Reno Reading is gonna get the whole pie. I'm just doing my darndest to make sure it's New Reno that wins. The way I see it, that's Reading's only chance. How can you help New Reno to take over? Best thing to do is just make any mine prosper and make sure my miners know who's paying the bills. The fact that they get all their happy sauce from New Reno makes the place a lot more popular too. Happy sauce? Booze, chems, all sorts of the chemical recreation. You name it, and New Reno supplies it. It's just about the only thing that some of the miners work for. Be hell to pay if something ever happened to that. How's your jet supply lately? Right now, we don't get hardly enough jet in town to keep everyone happy. I sure hope those next few caravans get through all right. Interesting. Let me ask you something else, Dan. What do you need from me? Have you ever heard of a Garden of Eden creation kit? A Garden of Eden creation kit? Never heard of something like that. I tend to find my Eden in Lou's sweet arms. Isn't Lou a guy's name? It is when it isn't short for Louisia. Louisia? Never heard of that name before. Sorry to anybody that's named that out there watching this video, but I just haven't heard that name before. Maybe it's popular in the Fallout universe, after the bombs dropped, because names go kind of in waves. My sister is a name where practically every other girl about her age has that name, but before, it's like, nope. My parents didn't really have people that they knew that had my sister's name back then. So, names come in waves, and maybe the name that he just described is a name that came in a wave at some point. She runs the Malumate Saloon here in town. Hey, just what are you getting at anyway? Nothing, Dan. Nothing. Just let me ask you about something else. Why do they call you Dangerous Dan McGrew? 'Cause I'm nothing but the biggest, toughest, mind-crawling, gully wumpin', snake-eatin' buck in these here parts. Dangerous Dan McGrew. That's me, all right. Let me try that with just more fluid speech. 'Cause I'm nothing but the biggest, toughest, mind-crawling, gully-wumpin', snake-eatin' buck in these here parts. Dangerous Dan McGrew. That's me, all right. That's better. That's much better. And I'm breaking the fourth wall here, but that feels much better to just have it all flow instead of this, then this, then this. It's better when it's this, then this, then this, then this, I see. Let me ask you something else, Dangerous Dan. Well, I said that kind of condescendingly. Let me ask you something else, Dangerous Dan. What's going on here in town lately? Well, one thing's for sure. I could use a new control chip for my excavator machine. A new excavator chip? What's that? I've got a big pre-war excavator all ready to run, but it's got a problem. No brains. Wow, that's the mean. I'd like to say that it's got plenty of company in this town, but instead I'll say, what do you mean? I hope that was an internal thought there, kinda. Its control chip burnt out, and it's not like it's not like I can order a new one. But I know where it is. Be willing to pay $1,000 for it too. Well, where is it? It's in the great Wanamingo mine. Wanamamingo mine, just west of town. Down inside the mine, there's a great big mining machine. You can't hardly miss it. The chips in that machine, you just need to yank it out and bring it to me. If you need it so bad, how come you haven't gone to get it yourself? Plenty of reasons. Most of them hungry and nasty. Wanama Mingo mines just chock full of hungry Wanama Mingos. What the hell is a Wanamingle? It's just the orniest, nastiest, most vicious critter I think I've ever seen. It's got teeth 4 inches long. Oh! I mean 14 inches long. But I think you can handle it. Okay, that's what's down there. Right, now I know. Yeah, right. I'll think about it. Goodbye. You do that. $1,000 isn't chump change, pal. I'll think it over. I can always use some extra cash. Take care of yourself. I really need that chip. Thanks for the tip. Goodbye. Okay, just as my character will, I will personally think about it. Because that sounds very dangerous, but I think I might be able to handle it. And so yes, guys, I do believe that will do it for this Fallout 2 video. And till next Fallout 2 video, I will see you later. Goodbye, guys! Thank you all for watching, and